Hey there. So we created this short video to show you how you can use virtual events to drive up demand for your products and services, right? So the old school method to do this is say through something like Zoom webinars, wherein you might share thought leadership content and you're going to attract a bunch of crowd for your webinar. And then after the event is done, your marketing team will pass on the leads of all attendees to your sales team, who after a few days will start reaching out to these people through, say, email, LinkedIn, calling, assuming that they are interested in your products and services and hoping for the best, right? So what if there is a better way to do this? And that's what we're going to showcase in this particular video, right? So what if you could recreate virtually aspects of running a full-fledged physical summit in your industry, right? So what if you had first, say, your key leadership, share thought leadership content, and then in the same virtual event, right, there is opportunity for attendees to check out your products, check out your case studies, and then if they find it interesting, when the lead is hot, right, they can actually talk to your salespeople to understand more and possibly move the deal ahead, right? So we have done this across industries, across the globe, and what we're seeing is your sales cycle gets significantly compressed by this, right? We've actually seen deals close across industries through the course of a virtual event, right? So let's get started, right? So the first thing that's going to happen is registration, which is before your virtual event. So you're going to have something like this, right? So you have a registration page, there is login through LinkedIn, different type of tickets. You can customize the data that you want to collect, right? And this is a microsite that you can again customize in terms of what you want to share about your event. As soon as somebody registers, they're going to receive information about your event, login and passcode to the event. They click on it and they can log into your event, right? Obviously, they can access your event only on the day of the event, right? So now what happens is once they log in, they are going to come into a space like this, right? So they will basically be taken through an interface like this, right? And they'll come to a lobby. This is called a lobby. This is an animated lobby, whereas what you see over here is a 3D 360 lobby, right? So what can you do over here, right? So the first thing is you want to share your thought leadership content, right? So you need to go inside, say, your auditorium, right? So your auditorium is, say, something like this, right? So this is where your live stream will be playing. Right now there is a recorded video, but that's because this event isn't live. But if this was live, you would actually see a live stream happening over here, right? So this is where your leadership, subject matter experts will share their thought leadership content, and people will be viewing it. Right now, the interface that I'm showing you is for the viewers, right, who are the attendees. But the interface that is used by the speakers could be something like, say, a Zoom or Microsoft Teams, or we have our own video conferencing system as well, right? We also have the ability to play simulated live sessions, right? So for example, if your subject matter experts do not want to do a live session, they want to record it, but you want to show it as if it's a live session, right? And you still want to be able to interact with the audience, we have the ability to do simulated live sessions as well, right? So now my session is going on over here, right? I'm an attendee. A bunch of things I can do. I can store notes. I can chat with others if I want. I can ask questions. I can take part in polls, right? So all of this can happen. I can also give live reactions, right? So all of this is possible. You also have the ability to pull people onto the stage, right? So that's possible, and obviously you will get analytics on all of this in terms of who was there in the session, who was there in which session. You can have multiple sessions, how much time did they spend, right? So all of that data is going to be available to you, right? So this is the first thing. You have shared your content, and now people are interested, right? So you're going to schedule your event in such a way that you have time for the content sharing, but you also have time for exploration, right? So you can keep time for exploration, discussion, right? All of that. So let's assume you have some time set up for exploration, right? And this can be before, during, or after the live session, right? And people can actually go into, say, an auditorium like this, and they can check out a bunch of things, right? So I can go to, say, the case study zone, right? And over here, I can check out the case studies that are there, right? So these are all multiple case studies. I can click on them. I can check them out. I can download them. I can also have a quick chat with the author of the case study, right? So that is possible as well, right? So I can just talk to the person who's written the case study or the white paper, right? So that happens. And then I can also, or instance, check out a product, right? So this is a demo station. So if you have products that can be showcased in 3D, then you can have something like this. So if I click on the demo station, it will show the product to me. I can check it out in 3D, right? So especially if viewing the product facially is important, right? Then this will come in handy, right? So I have this, and now I would probably want to talk to somebody, right? So let me just maybe click on one of the booths over here, right? So when I click, what I see is it's taking me into a booth, right? And inside the booth, there are a bunch of things, right? So I can embed videos, right? I can have attendees, right? So multiple things are possible. And when it comes to the booths, there are different designs that are there. I'll take you to another booth. So over here, you can see a video. If I click on the TV, I can see the video of the product or the company, and then I can just right. So and then I can click on maybe the brochure stand over here, right? And I can see multiple brochures, PDFs, right? I can check them out, and then there are standees, which are basically images that I can check out, similar to what you would see in a physical event. And then I can decide to talk to somebody, right? So I have quick chat over here on the top right. When I click on it, I'm going to see the representative at the booth. I can send him a chat message, right? Or I can click on video chat over here, right? And I can actually enter the room and I can talk to the salesperson or the subject matter expert, right? So when I'm interested, when I have questions, I can actually go and talk to somebody, right? So this is a possibility, right? So you can do a bunch of other things as well, right? So let me go back to this event over here. So you can have, say, roundtables, right? So if I click on discussion table over here, it takes me to a room where there are different topics of discussion, right? So there's a 4-table room, there's a 16-table room, and I can click on it. And when I click on it, my profile will get added over here, and the next person that comes in will actually see the profiles of all the people who are already inside that room, and they can have a two-way communication, right? So you can run that as well. There is gamification that's possible, right? You can have photo booths where people can take photos and then it'll show up in a gallery, right? So that's from a engagement point of view, right? That you can use features like that, right? So this is a sample gallery, right? People are taking photos, and then you can also enable social sharing, so people can share these on social media, right? So that becomes possible as well, right? So that's the high level idea, right? Now this is the end-to-end use case of how you can do a virtual event. It's a lot more than just a plain webinar.